All right. Oh, I did that wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the studio this evening. Where am I at? Let's put me, I'm up in the corner up here. Welcome to the studio this evening. I hope you can see me. I hope you can hear me. I'm a little rusty at this. I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous at this, but let's get going with it and see what we can do. So here is my reference photo. I've got it right over there. My palette is on the top. Well, it's below my head right now. I'll go through that in a minute. Fairly large painting that I'm doing this evening on a Pro Art watercolor pad. 12 by 16 in length. I've got my iris pre-drawn out here. Let's get rid of my face. We don't need to see me. There we go. And let's just jump right into it. I'm going to start with a nice size brush. This is a number 10 faux squirrel brush by our friends at Zen Art Supplies. And I'm just going to jump right in, grab a little paint here. The purple that I'm using to try to match the color of these irises is Cobalt Violet. Cobalt Violet is a granulating color, so our irises are going to be a little different than the ones we see here. But let's just see what we can do with this. I'm not going to pre-wet my paper right now because I've got a large enough area I'm going to work with. And a lot of it to start with anyways is just a flat wash. So I'm going to drop that on, and then hopefully in the not too distant time, probably when we get to a couple of the trickier petals here, or definitely on our second wash, we'll definitely do some spots and some really nice blending. And actually we're going to do some blending right here and some more interesting things. Clean my brush a little bit. I don't have a paper towel here. I got to get one somewhere. And I'm just going to blend this out. I don't want a hard edge on this. This is a nice soft flower. I've got a paper towel over here. I'm going to blend this color right on up to nothing. Up here, my color seems to be a bit odd on my camera. I got a new camera. Those of you who have watched my live streams before, you know my camera would jump around. And I've got a new camera, but with this amount of white on here, it's a little tough. Alan Estrada, welcome back to the studio, friend. It has been a long time. Glad to see you back here. Glad you made it back. And for anybody who's new, just like Alan is doing here, if you've got a question, you got something to say, throw it out there. Let's talk about it. Let's enjoy our time together. That's why we're here. And let's make this interactive. Being interactive is a lot more fun than just listening to me drone on for a long time. At least that's what my wife says. I don't know. Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. I don't know. If she doesn't, she probably should. All right, I'm just going to drop in a little bit of color in a few places. And let me know if this is too small for you to see easily. If it's too big for you to see easily. If it's too big. If it's too small, if it's too big. Andrea is here. Painting along as usual. Fantastic. Ooh, where am I at? Love the... I can't do it. That's great anyways. That's great. Actually, I just made this other purple. I think I kind of like this purple a little bit better. This is cobalt blue here in my tin. And a little bit of this quinacridone rose. Makes a wonderful purple watercolor, and that probably is not going to granulate nearly as much as the cobalt violet that I have here. Okay, I've got this. I'm going to let this sit. We're going to get some more paint on this page, and I'm going to come over and just put some basic color over here. Alan, how's it out there? I heard that they reopened Pismo Beach. Did they open Pismo Beach? That's a great question. I know they're trying to close down all of the dunes over there. I don't go to Pismo all that often, I will be honest with you. Even though it is famed by Bugs Bunny. Always should have taken a left at Pismo Beach, and it ends up in the wrong spot. I do know that they're really trying to clamp down on RVs and not RVs, ATVs and whatnot out on the dunes, because they kick up so much dust that it's making the air quality pretty bad over in that area, in Pismo, in Nipomo, in AG. So the city council has been talking about it and whatnot. I don't know where they stand with it. Like I said, I don't go over that all that often. That's probably, I don't know, it's not that far, 25 miles or so from where I live, but it's far enough that that I don't get over there on a regular basis. And because it's not my town. Oh, I forget my camera's over here now. Because it's not my town, I don't keep up on it so much. Oh, you can't see me anyways. Oh, I don't even have my face on here. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do this, and whoops. Let's not do that. Let's put that back where it was. And here, now you can see me talk. I think I'm on screen. Now I can look up and see exactly what I'm doing. Or you can see exactly what I'm doing. I don't know why. I'm just going to keep rambling on until you guys ask questions. So that's gonna teach you all a lesson to start asking. Shoot, now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, look at this purple. I don't know if you can tell. This one looks dark and like dingy, and I'm sure you can see in the picture it's a little mottled. This one is pretty bright and a nice color here. This is the composite of the cobalt blue and the quinacridone rose. So I think I'm going to keep going with this. And I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to come down here. And I'm just trying to get some color on here to start with. Right, that's my goal at the moment. I just want to get some color on the page. And you guys know I try to pick a painting that I think I can get done in only an hour. And then, of course, I went, okay, I can do this in about an hour. I can totally do this in about an hour. And so then I went and drew it on a giant piece of paper, and now I'm not going to probably get done in an hour. That's okay. We'll figure it all out. Yeah, I heard they permanently stopped night riding in the dunes. Oh, that's interesting. Well, night riding, that sounds dangerous anyways. I mean, unless you're Michael Knight and you have the special Camaro that you can drive around in, then night riding I think is fine. Okay. 80s TV reference there. Don't know if anybody got that. Did I pick the right blue? Did I pick cobalt blue or cerulean blue? I don't know. We're going to use it. Whatever it is. All right. I'm going to stick with my purples, and I'm trying to paint one petal at a time. All right. That's really what I'm doing. I like when I can paint the whole thing and then go back and pick colors out here and there. But I find that I get lost a little bit when I do that. So I'm trying to paint one item at a time, one petal at a time, and we'll see how that goes. And with this, like I said, I don't think I need to pre-wet the page at all. I know I'm going to need a little bit more of this color. I don't feel like I need to pre-wet the page. I'm not working in a large enough area where I have to worry about it. Andrea, I'm trying to figure out what you are painting now. I am painting this giant petal right here. There's one big petal right here. I'm assuming that's your question and not, is it a motorcycle or a truck or something like that? which I wouldn't put it past me. But there's one big petal right here, and I'm just going to try to do the whole thing all at once. I do need to turn it a little bit here, and I'm trying to be a little cautious over here and get some nice tight lines. It's my goals for the year here, as I'm doing this, I'll let you know, is, last year I wanted to become a bit looser of a painter, right? I wanted to do a few things a little more loosely. I didn't want to do things as tight. This year, I want to continue with that. I don't want to paint things super tight, but what I want to do is be loose in a specific area, right? So I want to be loose inside this petal as it's going down here. So I want to get some nice colors right inside here, right? I don't need to be a loose painter on the entire thing, just where I want it to be or need it to be kind of loose in here. I see another question up there, and I'm going to get to it. But before I do that, I'm going to grab just a little bit of this cobalt green, because down here, way at the base down here, that's probably going to be too bright, but this purple will dull it down a little bit. There's a little bit of green down there. Can you guys see this okay? I'm a little concerned. For me, it's pretty small. I've got only a small window open on my screen. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing okay. I bought a few tubes of M-Gram paints and put them on a palette, and after a week of drying, it still runs off your, holy cow, it still runs off your palette. M-Grams are tricky because they are made with honey, and that honey does keep them moist. There we go. You know what I think? Maybe a little bit of yellow in there would actually be a little bit better. Oh, I like that a little bit better. Yes, I hope you're saying yes to the fact that you can see this okay. I hope you've got it full screen and can see it nicely. These are my M-Gram paints, and I put them in there. I just put them in and go. I've never had them be so. No, you know what? That's not true. My first palette I had a travel palette like this, and I put my paints in there and closed it up the first day right away, and that was a mistake. It really was a mistake, because half of them ran everywhere. All right, so I'm going to circle back to the first petal that we've got here, and it's a bit darker back behind there, so I'm just going to drop in, make it a bit bluer, and I've got plenty of paint on there. I can then just blend this out a little bit, And that blue, you know, of course, blue, we all know what blue does. Blue tends to push things back a little bit. So that blue is just going to push that back. That's, you know, the back side of this petal somehow, somewhere in there. Just about like that. And this looks like a petal now. Like one full petal right here. We might have a little work to do at the top. Oop, let me slide over a little bit. I'm going to slide over my chair. And it's getting there. Now I'm going to tackle this large one right in the middle. And I think once we get this right in the middle, then I think, at least for me, what I'm seeing, I think our color is going to clear up once I do this. Now this one is big enough. If I really wanted to, I could pre-wet this whole one. I'm going to try to do it with, you know what, I am going to put a little water on here because I just have a feeling that it's going to dry up a little more than I want. So I'm going to wet that, and I'm just mixing a little paint as I go, and if it's exactly the right color, perfect, great. If it's not exactly the right color, whatever the right color is, you guys have all been with me before. You know the right color is not a good term, right? What is right and what is wrong? Well, the right color is the one that you happen to be using. Right? The wrong color is, I don't know what the wrong color is. The only reason you would have a wrong color, I think, is if you really were trying to do something in one color family or at one temperature, and you put a different color temperature family down there maybe. Oh, my whole head's getting in the way. I see that. Somebody needs to tell me. I need a moderator. Somebody to tell me to back up. You can probably see I've got quite a bit more hair this year than I have had in years past. I really have just not, just haven't bothered to cut my hair. We all went into hiding, into lockdown, and I cut my own hair anyways. I've cut my own hair for years and years and years, and I just kind of went, I think I'm just going to not cut my hair. And I just kind of stopped. So I haven't had a haircut in almost a full year. Almost. We're getting close to a full year. Not that that has anything to do with watercolor painting, but I'm just throwing it out there nonetheless. Okay, so here's my whole thing here, and I know that I've got, I'm going to make this down here, this little bud, I'm going to make this darker, which means I have to make this a little lighter. But right up here, right up above it, I can make that a little darker. And if you look at our reference photo, there's a little darkness right there, a little dark wiggle in this petal. And while it's wet, I'm just going to kind of drop that color in and let it mostly do what it wants to do. Come on, Alan and Andrea, you guys have had almost a whole year. You must have lots of extra questions for me. I mean, I will continue to keep talking through the whole, however long it takes to get this painted, if you want me to, but like I always say, I like the interaction. I think it's more fun. It adds more to it. Oh, here we go. And now I say that, and then Alan's going to throw out a big question for me. Let me just finish this little bit up here. I just want a little bit of dark right here. I'm going to blend this out, and I'm hoping that I caught this just damp enough that I can do this. Just kind of wiggle my brush a little bit. I always feel a little bad. Like I put the camera on myself so you guys can see what I do, and I like to look up so I can interact with you while I'm, or make eye contact with you while I'm answering questions. And then I always feel like I'm just looking down to do what I'm doing anyways. All right, I'm just going to put a little ripple in here. This is going to blend out on its own, and I'm going to help it a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to leave that petal to be done. Let's see. I have a question. I've been using my Martini brushes for nearly 7 months, and after a few weeks of using, the letters came off. Oh, yeah. Okay. So here's mine, and I only know it's mine because I keep all of my Martini brushes together. No writing on this one. The writing was pretty light to begin with. No writing on that one. No writing on that one. And I'm betting you, yep, no writing on any of mine. Came off. It's a bummer because they're nice brushes and you want to be able to say, oh, this is a size 8 or this is a size 6, and then you pick it up and you have no idea. It's tough. Andrew, you've been painting your heart out and teaching too. That's great. You're teaching painting or teaching something else? I've been I told my wife on the weekend I was going to do more watercolor teaching. I actually had some people contact me and ask me if I could do a little teaching, and I kind of said no, but I think maybe I should have said yes. And I think I'm going to start with building a few Skillshare classes and see how that goes. Oh, I'm doing this wrong already. Okay, I'm going to dab this color off just for a second. And since I've already got this little bit of pink on here, this little bit right here is kind of where it's rolled over. Burp. And I was going to paint that separately, and then I didn't think about it. So I'm going to paint it separately right now. Just like that. And then I'm going to run away from that, and I'm going to come back down here. And so this little bit of this bud has some nice green down here at the bottom and purple up here at the top. So since this one I'm going to have to do some blending on, I'm going to wet this whole one, and let's hope that this works nicely. So there's that whole area, nice and wet, and I'm going to get a little bit of this cobalt green. I'm going to put some cold yellow into it. Cobalt green. The cold yellow I have is Hansa yellow. And I'm going to use that green right here. And I'm not trying to make it perfect. This is still a base color for us. But I do want this to run together and get a little bit happy in here. So I have to tell you guys, I was nervous to start this. You've been teaching watercolor. That's sweet. I was so nervous to come back and start painting on Wednesdays, live painting again. I don't know why. It's a little nerve-wracking. I guess it's one thing to put yourself out there in a video, right? Anybody can turn a video off or turn a video on, and if somebody makes a comment to me that I don't like, I can just delete the comment or whatnot. But here, I mean, it's a much more personal thing. And I was so nervous after literally, I hadn't painted. I took 3 months off. I didn't do anything for about 3 months. No painting, no anything. And then I kind of did a piece here and there. I kind of did, played with it a little bit. I couldn't stay away too long. And now I guess I'm I guess I'm gonna be back full time now, I guess. Yes, I knew. Let's see. I teach on Zoom, and about 12 friends, no charge. It's helping stress for them. Oh, that's so fantastic. That's fantastic. I was thinking about doing some online, not online, I guess online learning, trying to do face-to-face classes like that. I never quite got it together to do that, but I still might be able to do that at some point. Yes, I knew I wasn't the only one. I had the issue of remembering the sizes of my brushes, but I had a picture. So you had your cousin laser engrave the numbers onto your brushes. Wow. That's impressive. Wow. I'm going to send you mine. Have him laser engrave mine too. He laser engraved them. That's cool. Does he have like a big engraver? Does he have like a Glowforge or something like that? One of those desktop engravers? Or does he just have the old one that we all used to have that just vibrated in your hand and it shook and you did it that way? I remember those. I engraved lots of stuff that way. Okay, what I'm doing now is the remainder of the petal that I started with when I picked the wrong area to start with. So we're just going to start with it now, or restart with it. How's that? Restart with it. And here it goes. And we're just going to keep going with this. I'm liking this pinkish purple and the mottled colors that we're getting here from the mix of this quinacridone rose and the, whoops, this one's curled in here too. I went over that a little bit. Well, that's going to change my painting just a little bit here. I'll just do it like there. Now I've just modified my drawing. Sometimes I guess you just got to kind of roll with it a little bit. Is my head in the way again? I try to keep my head out of the way. All right, and now this one, as I get down towards the stem, it gets a lot softer color down here. So just let me start blending this down. And we've actually got some green that's going to happen down here. Looks like green or that yellow maybe. So I'm going to use that little bit of that color and just drop it in, just kind of like on the other side. There we go. Let's see. Bicycle Repairman is here. I've been in the same creative break. I've been painting or repeating. It was tough. I'll share my story. I'm not ashamed. When we all went into isolation and couldn't be together, it really struck me, and I had a hard time with it. I mean, I really struggled, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And for me, it was, I've never been the most social person in the world, but I do have my hobbies and the schedule and, stuff I like. And it really threw me for a giant loop. I think I got my color a little too strong here, so I'm just trying to pull a little bit of this off. And I went through months of trying to figure out what I'm doing, what I wasn't doing, what I should have been doing, and why am I so stressed out? Why am I doing something right? Am I doing something wrong? In the midst of all this, at my work, my day job, I and my office mate were in the midst of a takeover by a rival department. And so we no longer work for the department we used to work for. We work for a totally different department. I don't know anybody in that department. I don't know anything about it. And that was adding a lot of stress onto what already was a very stressful time. And like I said, I really struggled with it. I listened to a lot of podcasts. I don't know what I was going to say. It was really tough. Let's see. Oh, your friend's machine is burns. It's a pretty big machine that burns everything on. I have watched I don't know how many videos and listened to I don't know how many podcasts about the best way to start to meditate. I thought that would be a good thing to try to get a lot of the stress out of my life, and it's helped. It's actually helped in a pretty big way. I was meditating, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 times a day. Just to, I mean, I hate to say it, but I felt like it was just to keep my sanity a lot of the time. And still do it. But it was an all hands on deck to do whatever I thought I could do to help get things better. And that's part of the reason why it took me so long to get back to doing this. I just had no motivation to do it. I was stressed out. I don't even see not only is my hair longer than it used to be, but there's a lot more gray in it than there used to be. But the long and the short is I've come through it all and feeling pretty good now, ready to get back to it. And this is the start. And so now we're just going to go and do what we need to do, which is paint and paint and paint and paint some more and have some fun and hopefully talk to some friends, make some new friends, enjoy some company while I do it. And there you go. You've just heard me. You just heard my whole life story for the past year. Let's see. I could tell you were struggling. You missed my videos. You used to walk to the beach every day at sunset and just think, you know what? I live, half a mile from the beach. I mean, it's really to the closest beach, I should say. You can't actually get in the water there because the beach is the beach is actually made up of abalone shells. Right where that beach is, it used to be an abalone canning place years and years ago, and but I would walk down there and I would just sit down there and have my headphones on and try to get a little meditation in while I was there and whatnot, and I for a few times I took my paints down there with me, and I just could never. Oh, I could never get to doing any good paintings down there. Okay, wow, I'm still going here. I've got a lot to go. I've got some dark in here. Where am I at? Oh, we're at good time. Oh, I got a little hair coming off of here. We got plenty of time. Oh, I can ramble on about a lot more. But like I said, I'm feeling better now. Andrew, I hope you're feeling better now. I hope everybody's good. I'm ready to get back to normal. I'm sure most people are. I think, and I don't know what anybody's politics are, whether they believe in it or not. But I think if we all, my personal belief, if we all just, we may not want to get the vaccine, but I think if we all accepted and got the vaccine, that we would all be able to get back to a normal life, whatever that was before, a lot sooner. And I say that knowing that somebody out there is going to send me an email going, hey, that vaccine, it's whatever. Okay, I'm not trying to politicize anything. I'm just trying to look at the science and say this is what the data about all the vaccines says. They're safe, as safe as they've been tested. Okay, and we need to get back to what our life was before. Okay, I am starting to turn this a little bit now, as I got a few of these areas where I really need to be precise. I'm just going to turn that a little bit, and this is my purple blue mixture, and down at the bottom I just tapped in a little bit of that cobalt green in there, and I went right around this I guess that's the beard, right? That's the beard of the bearded iris. And what else do we have to do down here? There's this little bit of this a bud here. Maybe it's a little different color. Maybe I could mix a little extra blue in here. I don't want, whoa. This is my problem. This is my problem with the M-Gram paints over here. Where you just touch in a little bit of color, and the colors are so rich and so vibrant that you're going to get a lot of paint in there, whether you want it in there or not. Oh, Fun Stuff is here. Welcome, Fun Stuff. Yeah, long time no see. Welcome back. I hope you've been well. Thank you for stopping back by. All right, I'm just going to put, let's see, some of this green in here. As I get down to the bottom of this bulb down here, I've got a little bit of a a husk, some such thing that goes around this. I'm just going to drop a little yellow ochre in there because I think that, it might help us with a little bit more natural color, but other than that, I'm going to let these colors kind of mix and mingle and do their thing. I'm going to pull this all up if I can, or some of this up and around. Just pushing this around. And we can do this because it's wet still. The whole thing is wet. It's not anything special about it. Okay, there we go. We got that. Let's see. Let's see, Alan, you actually bought the same palette as mine. Yeah, this slanted palette, right? These things they're not expensive. 15, 17, under $20, whatever they are. Oh, I'm sorry, whatever they are, under $20. And that slanted well is so nice to get your brush in there. You can get a little bit of paint off of there if you want, or you can just get a lot of paint off of there. I'm gonna have another video out. Maybe I gotta get my palette in. I gotta buy another one of these palettes because I just got some Daniel Smith paints and I'm gonna put them in a palette. So I'm gonna show that. But I love these palettes. These are fantastic. Let's see. I've been great. Just finished 2.5 years of 5 major. Oy. Wow, that's a lot of surgery. And fun stuff doing all right. Little storm break. Had a tornado and hail. Holy cow. Bicycle repairman got my second shot last week. Yeah. Congratulations. You're definitely ready to get back to normal and have a better year. Oh no. I'm sorry I had to file bankruptcy, but let's just get back to normal and get back to doing what we do. I mean, this past years, I'm sure. I mean, my struggles were mental. I feel for anybody who had financial troubles. Thankfully, fingers crossed, I wasn't in dire financial straits. My work kept me on and kept me busy and everything. So, I want to thank them for that. But, oh my God. Anyways, I'm just going to say, I feel for you. I hope I'm sorry you had to go through that. I hope you're back on the right side of everything now. And let's just go forward from here. I got my second shot about 2 weeks ago. My wife got her second shot 2 days ago. For me, man, it kicked my butt. Oh, the first one, no big deal. I got my shot, came home, started laying some flooring in the house, doing some work, did some gardening in the backyard. No big deal, right? A little pain at the injection site, but I think that's to be expected. But man, that second shot, I got it, came home. I got my second shot at about 9:30 in the morning. Came home. I went, I think I'm just going to take a nap. I feel a little tired. I'm going to take a nap. Laid down. Got up. Okay, well, I got stuff to do. Let's just get some stuff done. And started to work. And about 5 o'clock at night, I was like, oh, something is not right here. Something is going wrong with me, and I'm not enjoying it. And I went to bed. My head was pounding. I was sweating. I was cold. Oh, it was horrible. And then I woke up the next morning, got out of bed after not having slept a whole lot. By 10 o'clock, I was fine. It was the strangest thing. I was like, what happened? Somebody flipped a switch, and I started feeling better. Fun stuff, waiting on your second shot. You heard the second shot can be a doozy, yeah. It is drink a lot of water. Yes, I got that advice a little late. I didn't drink nearly as much as I should have, I think. Oh, my Lord. I did hear a couple of Tylenol and a lot of water, and you'll be fine. So take that advice for what it is. But, yeah. Whew. I've never felt, I felt that bad before, but certainly not from a shot of any kind. But now I'm through. It was only 12 hours or so. Feeling better, and I'm ready to roll. And really, if it's only 12 hours, then I think we can handle it. I can handle 12 hours anyways. Okay. Nobody thanks. You had to find a way to control... yes, I had to find a way to control myself because Staying, your sister works in a hospital and she doesn't want to expose you. Eee. Oh, I, man, I feel bad for hospital workers. I mean, I know they signed up for that, but they didn't sign up for that. That hospital work is just so much. Okay, so, yeah, look at the first one I did here. I don't know if I can even pick this up and you can see it. Look how granulated that is. That's from the cobalt violet that I was going to do the whole thing with. But we've got these beautiful colors from this other one. So I think we're going to stick with that. And so basically, I know I don't have the whole thing done in one layer. I've got these couple of here and some stuff down here. Well, you could do the green down there. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start going in and really defining where the shadow's at on these petals and where the bends are and that kind of stuff. So let's just jump in with that. Let me mix up quite a bit more of this. Quite a bit more. I'll run through this pretty quickly. I think that's a nice color right there. Maybe a little bit more water. Okay. And where can I start? I can start, well, this is wet. I think I'm going to start back here on this leaf, or this petal, and let's see if we can't cover some of this granulation up with a little bit of extra color here. So I'm just going to look at my reference photo. I have this one set next to me, right? This is the big one at the beginning. And I'm just going to use that to see where I might be able to add a little extra color in here. I like right along this outside. And I think this picture is always going to look a little funny because of using that cobalt violet. But it'll be okay. It's, you know what? Here's the thing. It's a plant. And when we look at it, we're just going to go, it's a plant. It's supposed to have some funkiness to it. If it didn't have a little bit to it, then it would, I don't know, it wouldn't, but it wouldn't be the same either. So I think there's a little dark can go right in there just to help to give this petal a little shape. And yes, I'm hitting it with some color and I'm blending it out, and I realize I'm losing quite a bit of that color, and that's okay. I don't mind that so much because I'm going to go back over. I might go back over. I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't at this point, but we can always, if we need to, we can go back over and add some more to it. And as long as we don't leave, at least in my style of painting, as long as we don't leave a hard edge there or use a huge amount of paint, we can just continue to go back over it and back over it and back over it, and it's always going to look nice, right? It's just going to add more depth to it. Okay, so I've done this one here. Let me come over and do this one. So this has got like, this has almost got like a hard line right here. And I have to keep this color a little bit more on the red side right here because there's a petal behind this. And if I want to be able to push that petal back with blue, then I need to be able to use that blue. And the only way I can really make that difference is if this one has a bit more of the red to it. Right? I hope that makes some semblance of sense. There, I like that. I think that looks okay. I mean, it's not exactly, I'm never going to paint exactly like the reference photo is, and And my drawing isn't exactly like the reference photo anyways. So I think we're okay with that. And I'm going to darken up this crease down here. Maybe I can draw this out to the side a little bit more. Right in here. I actually drew this petal. I looked at it. I drew it and then went back and looked at it. And I went, man, I really extended that out. I had to go back and erase quite a bit of it. I had extended it by at least a third longer than it needed to be. But that's okay, right? That's one of the nice things about painting plants is that they can have a little bit of strangeness to them, right? If this flower has a little bit of strangeness to it, you know what it looks like? An iris. If you paint a face and it has a little bit of strangeness to it, it looks like, I don't know, a mutant or something. Let's take a vote. Who's really fed up with face masks? I am. But what are we going to do, right? I'm fed up with face masks, but and I've been vaccinated, but as a show that I'm a team player, I still wear mine in public. I guess the CDC just said we didn't have to for anybody who was vaccinated, but I don't carry my vaccination card with me. If I go into a store, I still put on my mask. Like I said, I'm ready to do whatever I need to do to get back to normal life. Let's see, Andrea, yours is looking pretty good. Contrast is helping it all. Andrea, I'm assuming you're talking about your painting, because I know you're painting along, and not your face mask. If you have contrast on your face mask, I think something is going wrong. And I'm glad it's looking good. This one's going to start looking good here pretty quickly. I don't know that it looks badly. But I just want to give some texture to this. You know, I think a little bit here and a little bit there, and I fuss with it maybe more than I need to. I don't like a whole lot of hard edges, so I'm willing to blend and blend and blend and blend and blend until there's nothing left to blend. But that's just me. Let's see. Yes, but you still wear your face mask too. Good. Let's just all do it and be. Let's get out of this situation. Okay, I'm going to jump down here for no particular reason. These little husk things down here fascinate me. This is a little yellow ochre. I'm going to put a little bit of gamboge in here. The yellow, I go back and forth. I don't like yellow ochre, but I don't have anything better to use than yellow ochre. And it's not that I have a problem with yellow ochre, the color of yellow ochre, but yellow ochre is not transparent. And oftentimes you put it on and then you're like, oh God, why did I put that on there? It's so weird at this point. And this is a little burnt umber. I just want to get some colors on here. Maybe there's some lines that go through here. We can do this right now. They'll fade out, but you'll still probably be able to see some of them when it dries. There's some some veining. Let me darken this just a touch on this side. Don't touch too much. Just let it go, Michael. You can always come back later. Okay, there's mine. Burn the mask. Yeah, well, that's where we're at. But still, when you still wear yours when you need it. You're just tired. I think we've been at it a year. I think we're all tired. Oh, I never. Let's say this. Who here thought this would ever last a year? Over a year, really. I never thought it would last a year. I thought we would be done by, 6-8 months. I was just going by basically what, flu season. I know we're not talking influenza, we're talking coronavirus, but flu season is seasonal. Right? H1N1 was basically seasonal. Common colds are basically seasonal. I thought we would be done with it by the end of summer last year. I was like, okay, fall's coming. That's going to take care of it. And we're done. We're out. And then it never happened. You thought, Andrea, we were in for a long haul before. I don't know how you knew. I guess maybe we should have known. Everybody who didn't know, maybe we should have known, but I didn't. I thought it was going to burn out, and I'm still torn over it. It's a weird virus. It's a really weird kind of a virus that affects. It's just so discriminate over who it affects. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna switch to this more blue one. Here, I'm gonna make a more blue pile, or maybe not. I just touched that. Man, that quinacridone rose is so much to it. There we go. That's much bluer. I like that. Fun stuff. You haven't even been able to leave the house for a year. Oh, my God, I feel for you. Your religious organization said 2 years. Oh, my Lord. 2 years. That's a long time. Let's see. I'm looking at this petal right here. And I need to add some. I'm going to be brave with this. I need to add a bit of this blue. Maybe that edge comes down like that. I don't know, something like that. Maybe I'll give it a big shot of blue right in here. This is where I can be brave and with my braver with my colors than I have been maybe in some other places here. Just straight cobalt blue right there. Straight cobalt blue. And let it find its way. Let it do the painting right on that flower for me. If it's going to do the work, I don't need to do the work. That works for me. I don't know if that saying works. I got to get a clean rag here. My rag is getting a little wet and a little dirty. And I'm going to just let this blend all the way out however far it wants to go here on this side. And then just like on the other side, I'm going to take a little bit of this yellow. It's a cold yellow. Mine is Hansa yellow. If you have lemon yellow on your palette, that would work just as well here. And just like I did over here, I'm going to just let this come out and blend in and touch with everything else that's here. There we go. And go back to my more reddish color. I want to put a little bit dark on here. Maybe there's a stripe that comes down here. This will help define the shape of this a little bit more. Shoot, let's just go down this whole side here like that. There we go. And then we can blend this out. And I think I haven't even changed brushes this whole time, have I? I think I've been using the same brush this whole time. That's got to be a record for me. I love changing brushes for whatever reason, but I haven't tonight. It's got to be some kind of a world record, I think. Whoops, come on. Blend, 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 blend. That looks good. That looks good. And we got these, that's all wet. We can just like we did down there, we can just draw a couple of these up a little bit. Come on, if I could touch the page. Right, that's maybe a little vein in there or something like that. I don't know. I'm okay with this. I think it looks good. I'm gonna stop trying to futz with it in a second after I've played with it enough. Let's see. I'm expecting to see flying cars by the time you get out of your house. Oh, I wish. How great would that be? I mean, not great that you've been in the house that long, but the flying cars would be awesome. One of my neighbors literally hasn't left his house since COVID came to the U.S. Wow, he orders it. Everything comes out to pick it up. Yeah. Fun stuff. You're no good with flowers. I don't believe that. They end up looking like toddler fridge art. There's nothing wrong with that. And Andrews, you've been using one brush the whole time too. We get most all of our food delivered. Almost all of our food delivered. Not all of it, but almost all of our food delivered with, I don't know, what is it, Instacart? Instacart? It's got to be Instacart. Almost all of it. I go to the grocery store. I've got 2 kids, and they get a little punchy if they can't get out of the house. So what we did was we would run up to the store, still do whatever we wanted to do, ish. Always wearing a mask, I will say. But we would go like a half an hour before the store closed, hoping that nobody would be there. So, the store closes at 9. It's 8:30. Let's go to the store, and if we need to run up and get something, you're going with me. If we need to go, whatever, let's go do that. It's that time. And so we would go and run up and do that. Now we're a little more lax about it now, knowing what we know, that you're not going to catch COVID by touching a surface, and knowing that all of the stores now have instituted mask rules. I guess they had before. For a while, there were not any mask rules. The stores just weren't open. But since they've all instituted those, we feel a little better about going, but it's really strange that you'll walk into a store, walk into a grocery store, and the person behind you, you're standing in line, there's a little dot on the floor, you're standing 6 feet away from the person in front of you, and the person behind you comes and stands 2 feet behind you, and you're like, ooh, why? What's going on? Why are you doing that? Or I've done it. I've walked right up behind people before and then went, oh my God, I can't be this close to somebody. And then you try to back up and get out of the situation. It's I don't know, it's weird. The whole thing has gotten weird. But that's where we're at, and we're almost out of it. So a little extra push. Yeah, Rex, I'm not sure that works. I wish it were that simple, but it seems not to work. So I appreciate if you don't want to wear a mask. I would ask that if you're going to go into a store or something, please wear a mask to be kind to everybody else. But I would not force you to wear a mask. I would hope that you would be willing to do that on your own. But I understand everybody has their own opinion, and that's okay. Let's see. I had to go back to work in office last June. I also got out. I've also gone out for groceries the whole time. HB was essential manufacturing worker. Yeah, so had to be at work daily. We were lucky. Never got it. I've been lucky. I've been deemed an essential worker, but I worked it out with my office mate, and we go into work on alternating days, and so there's only ever one of us in the office at a time, and rarely at this point do we need to come into contact with somebody else. It's a lot, even when we're at work to do our work, it's a lot of remote stuff. So that's been good, but thank God you didn't catch anything. Thank God you're okay. I don't want anybody to get sick. All right, so now I've got one down here, and as we're seeing, this really is starting to take shape here. Put in those dark blues, and those dark blues really help to kick everything else off, right? This petal really looks like it's folded over like that. This one is tucked under here, right? This blue helps give this one some roundness. I might want to put a little extra dark on the outside of this one to make it even more round, right? It's the darks that really help kickstart your painting. So wherever we can put a nice dark in there, we're gonna do that on this one. Natalie, you're fully vaccinated. Good for you. How long have you been vaccinated? As you're an essential worker, did you get to go in and get vaccinated weeks ago or months ago? I guess nobody was really there. I guess you could have been there months ago. Months ago would have been a stretch, but it's possible. All right, and now I've got this right here. Oh, I need to turn this real quick because I can't do this stroke that way. So this is that little rib down the center of this iris. And I bet if I just put a tiny little line on this side, That'll really help it look better. There it is. And how does this one go out? Oh, looks like maybe I didn't blend this one out quite far enough. I've got a tide line. Well, I am using, I should say, the paper I'm using is wood pulp paper. It's this, right? It's Pro Art watercolor paper in this pad. I've used it before. It's nice paper, but once it gets wet, you gotta let it dry before you can do too much more with it, because it gets a little funky. Like all wood pulp papers, they get a little funky. You just have a little more flexibility with the cotton paper. I don't even know. Okay, I'm not going to touch that. I want that to dry on its own. I'll come back down here. Let's see. Rex had it too. He's a retired nurse. I hope you had it. I didn't read the rest of your thing. I hope you had it and everything went easily with it. Alan, when you have somebody close to you, you yell bacon? That's funny. I would think that would draw everybody to you. Bacon! Ooh, bacon! I'm going there. Instead of getting everybody away from you. I don't know. This guy's got bacon. There's bacon on the loose over there. There's bacon running loose. I'm over there. I'm going over. I don't know. That's a funny thing to say. Let's see. Natalie, you weren't able to get in any earlier than your age group. But at least you're vaccinated now. I guess that's what matters. I said they deemed me an essential worker. I'm not. I guess I don't know that I needed that, but I was thankful that I got to get my vaccine in a relatively short amount of time. Okay. I'm liking the way this is looking up here. I like this over here. I like this in the center here. I think that looks great. This is starting to look good around the top here. But I need to get these in here. So let's do this. Let's get some of the more of this pink color. Yeah, you should probably pick another word. Somebody's going to yell bacon. Everybody's coming running. That's just how it is. I think my family doesn't even eat much meat, and I think even if somebody yelled bacon, we would all run over there. Ooh, bacon. Let's check it out. I got to find out about that bacon. Bacon's one of those things everybody, even people who don't like meat, like bacon. That's how good bacon is. I used to work with a guy, Steve. I'll give him his name. That's his actual name, Steve. Steve would come into work and cook lunches. I don't know why, because he liked to cook. He was nice enough to cook. He's retired now, but my office mate and I were always nice enough to eat what he cooked. Every now and again, he'd come in with a pound of bacon and throw that on whatever he was cooking. And I was like, Steve, that is cheating. That's so cheating. You know that whatever you put that on is going to taste good. That shouldn't be allowed. And he would just laugh, keep cooking. And we would laugh and keep eating. That's how it worked. I don't know. Okay. Wow. I have to say, I'm really kind of liking the way this is turning out. I'm going to put just a tiny bit of yellow up here, my cold yellow. And I've mixed it mostly with my yellow ochre here. But I was like, well, yellow ochre, that won't matter a whole lot. But I'm just going to put just the smallest amount here. I know I'm going to put this beard on here, and that's going to have quite a bit of yellow in it too, but I don't want this to be quite as white as it is up here. So I'm just going to drop that little bit on and just let that come down. Just blend it right on down. And I think that's going to help warm that up right in the center there. Yeah, that's making it look really nice. That's looking good. It's nice and warm in the center there now. We've got some nice ripples and texture on everything. And look at this here. Turned out nice. I'm going to put a little more texture out here as soon as this dries a little bit. This looks great where it's folded over, and this one and this one. Oh, I was going to put just a little bit more out here, wasn't I? So we're not too far away from being done with this one. We're getting there. What's wet here? Anything? I'll put a little bit more color out on the outside here. Kind of like that. This has got a nice curve to it. This will help warm it up, and before we know it, look, we can hardly tell that this had that cobalt violet on it and had all of that spotting on it. Look how good that looks now. Looks fantastic. Wow, we are really getting there. It's coming out so good. It's getting there. It's getting there. Is this dry? Look at this down here. I don't know if you can tell how granulated this is. That's from my cobalt green. Love cobalt green. What I really should have done is just use my phthalo green and put a little bit of gamboge in it. And then I wouldn't have had that granulation there. But, you know, we're going to push this right on back anyways. Right? This is now done. That is now in the shadow right there. I just drop some paint on. Quick and easy as that. That is right in the shadow. Man, it's looking good. Okay. What can we do? We got to do some stuff up here. I do need to, at this point, drop down a brush size. So I'm going to go with, what is this? This is a Winsor & Newton Cotman round, size 4. So I can, maybe this doesn't have a good enough point on it. This one's got a better point. I just have some random brushes in my holder here. What's this one? This is size 1. This one's got a great point on it. Oh, it's also got some color on it, apparently. Let's get that off of it. And let's get to working on this beard. I'm going to draw a few lines here, and you almost can't see it. Alan, what brush am I using? This is the smallest brush I have on my desk right now. This is a Winsor & Newton Cotman round, size number 1. And I bought these in a pack several years ago, and I don't really use them. In fact, I'm not exactly sure how this got onto my desk, but it came with 3 rounds and 1 flat brush, something like that. And it's just been sitting there, waiting for me to pick them up and use them, I guess. And now I guess is the time I get to do that. Now I got this one in the center here. This is my favorite one right here. I'm gonna just make sure I've got some good color for this right now. And again, this is just my cold yellow. Yes, there is a little bit of some other color mixed in with it, but it's basically just a cold yellow. The one you were using. Oh, the one I was using. This brush. This brush is a. Hang on one second. This brush is a Zen Art Supplies round from their Black Tulip collection. In fact, I need to call them or talk to them anyways. They were nice enough to send me some brushes to try out. Maybe I should have been using one of those right now. They sent me these little ones. It's a fine detail collection. Actually, they're very small. This is the biggest one. This is a round number 2, but they're quite comfortable to hold with that little bulge in the middle of it. I should be using this one. Let's see, what else are we going to do? I need to get some lines on here, and I need to figure out how I want to do that. I can do one of 2 things. I've got a hair here. I can cheat and get some colored pencils and draw them all on, or I can basically do what I'm doing now, which is wet an area and then get a rigger brush and draw through that area, and it gives a nice kind of a diffused a nice diffused area of lines, right? It's not a harsh line. It softens it quite a bit. So what do you think? What should I try to do? I should probably try to draw the wet it and do it with a rigger brush. Fun stuff. You gotta go to. Oh no. Who's going? Good night. Who's leaving? Andrea. You're finished. I'll post on Instagram and tag me. Okay. You're in North Carolina and it's getting late. I understand that. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it very much. I'm hoping to be here next week. I'm hoping to be here every week for the foreseeable future. We'll see how it goes. So thank you for stopping by. Stop by next week. Maybe we can get it in 1 hour next time. Don't count on it. I'm not good at that. But we'll try. Do I have a rigger brush? I do have a tiny rigger brush. Let's just give that a try. I'm going to wet this part right here. I got some of this, and let's just see if I can grab some color off of that. That might be a little bit wet. Let's grab a little bit of the color, and how does this go? Kind of like this. I don't even know if you guys can see it. It's pretty light. Give it a little darker color here. just some lines on there. That actually worked out pretty well. I think I'm going to try it. It's going to be harder. It's going to be harder here where I've got more paint on it. Have I ever used a credit card edge to scrape in lines? I have-ish. I have. I have a whole bunch of credit cards that are all cut up that I have specifically made to do this, and I don't really use them, I will say. I think the problem is, it doesn't have anything to do with the credit card. That's a totally valid way to do it. I always worry about when to scrape, right? Am I doing it too early? Am I doing it too late? Am I going to get a line on there? If I do it too early, then it makes a dark line. It doesn't make a light line because all the paint settles into it. If I do it too late, it doesn't really pull off the color. It just kind of is there, right? It's just kind of a depression onto your painting. And I think I don't do that just because I've never given it enough time to try to figure out what the exact right timing on that is. So have I? Do I ever? I have. I don't typically. I hope that's a good, I hope that's a good answer. That's the truthful answer. All right, let me slap a little water in here. Just slap some water in there. Actually, I'm actually pretty stoked at the way this is turning out. Oh, and I finally did it. I put my hand right in some wet paint. And these light little lines are going to look really nice. You can just barely see some there. They're really going to look nice here. I try to, when I do this kind of stuff, I try to have my brush on the paper for as short amount of time as possible. I really want to get on the page and get off the page. I don't want to damage anything that's there. Let's see, these ones kind of come up this way and flare out a little bit. That one comes over that way. I don't know, something like this. We just got some lines here anyways. They may not be the exact right lines. Maybe I can connect them all back down here, and that'll help out a little bit. That helps. That helps a bit. All right, let's keep working right on around. I got this guy up here real quickly. I don't want to lift off any of the paint that's there. I just want to put a layer of water right over the top. Let's get some more color on here. And this method is real nice because it gives you these really nice soft veins on there. I mean, you almost don't need to do anything after you do this because they're so gentle, soft veins on there. It sounds like a weird way to say that, but it's true. That's what it does. It gives you these beautiful soft lines. And there we go. It's looking fantastic. Natalie, you're chicken to damage the paper. I get it. I totally get it. It seems like if you did it, you could just. Oh, you know what? First of all, I got a drop of water there. I was going to paint this more blue back here, right? I want to keep with our theme, so this has got to get an extra layer of paint back here, and then I'll just go and do a line somewhere else. Right? That's probably got a shadow on it from that petal in front. I do that, and that's going to push immediately. That's going to push this bud back quite a bit, and it's going to push this whole petal forward. I mean, if you just look at it right away, all of a sudden it looks a little too dark. We can do that. There we go. There's nothing. Everybody says watercolors are so hard. Oh, they're so intransigent. Once you put color on, then you're in trouble. You can't do anything. Well, that's kind of true. It's kind of not true. You just saw me change that right away. There's nothing to it. It's watercolor. Let's just have some fun and see what we can do with it. Okay. Alan, last week I was kind of stressed out, so I decided to paint with acrylics. Ooh, painting on my old cowboy hat. This didn't fit anymore, and I painted an alien riding UFO with chain link steering wheel. That's hysterical. That's hysterical. I love it. That's great. I needed that. Thank you. That's great. I can just picture a cowboy hat with that on it. In fact, I want to get a cowboy hat with that on it. That's great. All right, I'm going to drop. Just trying to get some water right on here, real quick, real simple, real easy. You know, if I was Bob Ross, he'd be saying use 2 hairs and some air. Don't force it. No need to force it. Some nice long veins that come down here, go down that side, flip it over here. I don't know, something like that. That's kind of what the veins look like, right? It's just basically they come down and they flare out a little bit. Could put some extra ones here and there, maybe they cross a little bit here. I don't know. They could go out here and they can go over there. I don't want to do too much. Whoops, I do too much, then we ruin that. We don't ruin it. We take the viewer's eye away from the texture of the color that's underneath. I probably don't want to do that. Right, this one's got some lines on here. We're getting really close to being done. Some really light lines on here. This is all just yellow ochre. Couple here. These are going to be real light coming around. Do we have any lines on this one over on this back side? We have a couple. I'm just gonna try and get this really wet. I'm not even gonna try to come on. I'm not even gonna try to wet this first. I don't need much on there. I don't want too much on there. Wow, okay, this is oh, I've got these ones to do here. Oh, look at this. This is going to be fun here. Let's see. These ones look like eyelashes to me. They're like lines that just come right like that. If I just dropped a couple on here. Oh, that's it. And how am I don't know how to do that. I was gonna say I just want a line or two in here. Small line, not a big line. few dots in here just to give this a little bit of texture. I'm not even doing it with yellow. This is actually just the same purple color that we've been using. Oh, I'm gonna call that pretty much done. I think it looks fantastic. I kind of can't believe I did it. That's so funny. Yeah, I think it looks fantastic. I'm going to sign it somewhere, I don't know, right about here. There we go, and call this one done. I'm going to post this one on Instagram here in a few minutes. So if you follow me on Instagram, there should be a link down below. If you don't, you'll see that soon. Also, links down below to Discord. I'm going to try to do more in Discord. I announced this in Discord. I hope a few of you got it. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Fun Stuff. And you love the botanical books. I love the botanical books, too. They're fantastic. Much better than this, obviously, but they're fantastic. Down at the bottom of this page on YouTube, there should be a link to my Teespring store. I have some funny t-shirts up there with only stuff that I've painted. So if you like that, you can check that out. Anything else I need to talk about? I'm going to be on Twitch tomorrow morning, which is Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific. Yep. I'm just trying to think what my schedule is. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific. I'll be back here on YouTube next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific. I'm trying to think of my schedule. It's hard. So thank you, everybody who joined me. Bicycle Repairman, Natalie, Allen, Fun Stuff, Rex, wherever you're at, Elsa, Grace. I don't know, who am I missing? I know I'm missing a few. Anyways, thank you all so much for joining me. We'll see you back here next week. Bye-bye.